All right, let's just jump right in. Have you ever felt that? That weird kind of dizzy feeling when you think about the future? You know, the suspicion that even if everything seems fine today, the ground you're walking on just isn't solid anymore? Well, that's the feeling of exponential change, and it raises this massive question about where we're all headed.
And it all comes into really sharp focus with this one number, 47%. So back in 2013, a huge study from Oxford University came out, and they found that this is the percentage of jobs in the US that are at high risk of being automated. Just gone. It's a number that really stops you in your tracks. It represents a total shift in our reality.
And this quote, this just illustrates the whole thing perfectly. You know, the old rules, the straight line predictions we used to rely on, they just don't work anymore. Ignoring this exponential change, this feeling of shock, it's like pretending the world has just stopped spinning. The gap between, oh, we still have time, and it's already too late, is basically the blink of an eye now.
This is the question that's kind of lurking in the back of all our minds, isn't it? It's the big fear that this wave of technology is just going to make us obsolete, that we're in some kind of race that we just can't win. But what if that's the wrong question entirely? What if we're looking at this whole thing from the wrong angle?
This is where we find a really powerful third option. See, human-centric exponentialism isn't about fighting the machines or just giving up. It's a completely different path. It's a framework for using all these crazy new technologies, like AI and robotics, specifically to amplify our human skills, our creativity, our well-being, not to replace them.
So this really lays out the two roads in front of us. On one side, you have the old replacement mindset. It treats people like slow, buggy machines. It's all about repetitive tasks and sees technology as a competitor. And that road, it leads to what's called the empty future, a world that's super efficient, sure, but has no human soul. But the amplification mindset, it sees the human as an architect. It's about strategic being and treating tech as our greatest ally. This is the path to exponential abundance, where technology actually unlocks our potential. And that is the absolute key. This isn't about creating another app or another piece of software. It's about building a whole new infrastructure, a new way of thinking and living that uses technology to elevate our skills, our intuition, our humanity, not to make them worthless.
Okay, so how do we make this shift? Well, we start by completely reframing our relationship with technology. We have to stop seeing it as this thing out there that we have to compete with. Instead, think of it as an extension of yourself, almost like an extended nervous system that can carry out your intentions with incredible speed and precision. That frees you up for the really important high-level thinking.
So when technology takes over all the boring, routine stuff, it doesn't leave us with nothing to do. It leaves us with everything that actually makes us human. It frees us up to double down on the things that AI can't replicate. Things like genuine creativity, critical thinking, intuition, and maybe most important of all, in a world drowning in answers, our most valuable skill becomes the ability to ask the right questions.
There's a saying that just captures this whole idea perfectly. Technology serves the human, so that the human can be more human than ever. I mean, think about that. The ultimate goal isn't just to be more productive. It's to use the cold logic of machines to set free the fire of the human spirit.
So, if we're going to become the architects of this new reality, we first have to tear down the old myths. You know, the ghost stories we tell ourselves about technology that keep us stuck in fear.
Let's just break these down. First, you've got the Frankenstein myth, this idea that our creation will turn on us. But the exponential twist is to see that AI is just a mirror. It reflects our own intentions. If we get destroyed, it's because we forgot who we were first. Then there's the replacement myth, that we'll be made obsolete. The truth? It only replaces the part of us that tries to act like a machine, which forces us to reclaim our real value. And finally, the myth of cold perfection, that logic is better than emotion. But the reality is that our messy, imperfect humanity, our emotions, that's the one code that AI can never, ever hack. And this is the fundamental shift in how we see ourselves. We have to stop thinking of ourselves as just passive users of systems that other people built. We are the active creators. We are the architects. We aren't just building a future, we're building our own galaxy of possibilities.
So how do you actually start? Here's a clear pathway. First, embrace the shock of change. Don't fear it. Use it as your compass. Second, return to the center. In a world that is so noisy, you have to anchor yourself in your own intuition. Third, integrate technology as your ally, using it to amplify your unique purpose. And finally, you have to inhabit the future. Realize it's not some place you're going to arrive at. It's something you are actively building right here, right now.
So, in the end, if technology is just a mirror reflecting our own humanity back at us, then the most important question isn't what is it going to do to us? The question is, what will you choose to reflect?
Look at the projections on the new campaign.
The holographic interface makes collaboration instantaneous.